Good morning, reflectors.
Good morning.
Today is Friday, February 13th. Hopefully that doesn't scare you. We're going to make it a positive, superstition-free Reflection Friday.
But we are going to talk about being scared.
Well, we're going to talk about getting over being scared, though.
Yes.
That's even better. You asked me at the end of yesterday's episode if I could share some of the things that I did to get over being scared.
Would you say you're not afraid at all to live in alignment, or are there still situations where you struggle? Tell us your story.
Tell me your story. Okay. Well, I would say, truthfully speaking, and I would say this is truthfully speaking for everyone, we're all always doing our personal development work. So, of course, there's still situations where I'm hesitant, I'm nervous, I'm saying, oh, am I doing the right thing? Of course, there's going to be situations like that because, first of all, I'm human. And secondly, personal development is work that's never fully finished. There's always more to do, there's always more to learn. And that's what makes it so much fun. There's always somewhere to go, always something to read, always something to do. But I would say, I've made significant strides from my early days of being badgered into saying yes or making up excuses about why it's definitely okay for me to say no right here. And this is an excuse that's airtight, locked down, and you can't poke any holes into it because this is the safer exit than just saying no and sticking with it.
So how'd you do it?
I'm getting to that. How did I do it? I had to feel, this is like step one. I had to feel how uncomfortable it felt to abandon myself and to live out of alignment. So yesterday we were saying get comfortable being uncomfortable. The truth of the matter is, it's pretty gosh darn uncomfortable being out of alignment. I would include myself in this camp. And I've met so many other people who would include themselves in this. When you're getting into that go, 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 always doing, always going somewhere mentality, it's to avoid moments of silence because then you start thinking about how uncomfortable you are. So I definitely had to take the time to feel uncomfortable just being uncomfortable. I knew I was living out of alignment. I knew that if I sat still for too long and didn't have music or a show on or something to numb myself with, that I'd spend too much time listening and noticing what's going on inside of me. I had to just stop and listen. That's why we have our month set up like this. I had to listen and notice first, and then I had to hear and notice, this way of going through life doesn't work for me. It doesn't serve me. It doesn't honor my value. I got to do something different or I'm gonna burst. I couldn't take it anymore. And you know me, Annette. I can let her rip.
So the first step is that you had to realize how uncomfortable you are.
Yes, that was the impetus. That was the impetus to do something different. I couldn't take how that felt because I would do these things I knew I didn't want to do and it just would feel awful. Just like I talked, was this at the end of last month or something, where I'd say, well, I'd spend time on the computer and just say, why did I do that? Why? Like, what a waste of an evening. If you're spending time on your computer, I'm not telling you your evening's a waste. I'm saying that was my experience. I'd feel it and say, gosh, what a waste. And that's how my days felt. It's part of them anyway, or I'd be doing these things, going places I didn't really want to go. And it's like, gosh, what a waste. I did because it was so out of alignment. It was so out of alignment. I had to feel that first. And it had to get to the point. I guess that's like the rock bottom thing. Had to get to a point where enough was enough. I didn't want to feel that way ever again.
That would be equivalent to my burnout.
Yes, I guess I had a mask burnout of my own. Because every time I would say yes, or I'd be badgered into saying yes when I didn't really want to, whoop, there goes the mask. Put that thing on there and let's get going. Put the smile on my face. I'll just be honest here, Annette. You would always say, "You're so obnoxious." And that was me putting on the
Okay, I
mask.
didn't say that all the time.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Okay, we'll clarify
I
that.
said that when I knew you were faking it.
Yeah, that was the mask. You'd say, "Oh, you're so obnoxious." This is the equivalent of when I told you you're so fake or you're so phony. Well, you're so obnoxious.
Boy, how do we talk to one another, Ada?
We're honest and we just dropping truth bombs on one another. But that's what you need in your life. You need someone who is not afraid to drop a truth bomb when they know you need it. So you'd say, "You're so obnoxious." Like, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm doing stuff I don't really want to do, and I'm trying to make it fun because it's awful. And that's the thing. That's the thing. To feel what you're really feeling, feel that discomfort of being out of alignment. Step one. Step two, getting to the point or just deciding on it. You don't have to get to the rock bottom and say, "I never want to feel this way ever again." Because it's a terrible feeling.
So then step 3.
Step 3 was finding the right tools to help me in different situations. I'm someone, and that you'll know this because you're my mom, a common refrain of mine. "Well, I don't know what to say." Well, I had to learn what to say. "Well, I don't know what to do." I had to learn what to do. If you're mask burnout, you're completely uncomfortable. You're obnoxious because you don't really want to be in places. Well, you have to figure out, what else do you do? Like, what are your options? What do you do to say no? So I had to find the right tools for my toolbox to give me the confidence and the know-how to do something different.
You also had to make a decision.
Okay,
because
I
I
guess that's number
remember
3.
when you did make a decision, you announced to me that the way you put it is you're going to fast from fear because you want
Yes.
to be aligned and you want to show up honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yes, a fast from fear. I didn't fast from food. I don't do very well with when I don't eat.
But it was a
Another time I
deliberate
get
decision, is my point.
obnoxious. But yes, it was a very deliberate decision to fast and take a break from feeling fearful. And I did it for 30 days.
So when you fasted from fear for 30 days, what did you do on day 5 when the fear would start welling up?
I'd say, "Nope, I'm fasting." And that's what I would do. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to feel this way. I have to fast from fear, and I'm not giving in to the fear this time.
And then did it get easier in your
So much easier.
30-day fast?
Yes, it got a lot easier because every time I felt that, "Nope, I'm fasting." That's what I would tell myself, and I would stop feeling the fear and I would do it. And it was very interesting, interesting, because when I told myself, basically, you're not allowed to feel that way for now. I gave myself 30 days. For 30 days, you can't feel that way. Every time I said, "Nope, I'm fasting," it went away. And I did what I knew I needed to do. I said what I know I needed to say.
You know, I did a fast from unforgiveness. And I did the same thing, as I told myself, whenever I notice that I'm going into unforgiveness, I know this is not exactly what we're talking about, but the fasting part, it does work because I would feel myself going into unforgiveness, like going down memory lane, taking a trip to Negative Town, and I would say, "Nope, I'm not doing that. I'm fasting from that." And it was for 30 days also. So it's not like I can never think about this, but I'm going to fast from this for 30 days. By the time the 30 days were over, I can't say that I'm completely in this relationship where I forgive everybody. I'm not going to ever say that, but I don't have those unforgivenesses that I was holding on to. So it sounds like that method worked for you also with this.
It did, and I would say that's because it was a time of mind training, mental discipline, where I was very cognizant and conscious of what I was thinking. And before, I would just let my mind wander and go off to left field, right field, center field, all the fields, and just let it do what it wanted to do. Here you go.
All of this takes mind training, really.
It does.
And that mental discipline.
You have to think of your thoughts as in the same category of your actions. You can choose what you think, just like you can choose what you do. I had to make that choice. Do I want to think in alignment with my fear, or do I not? I get the choice. And having that contained habit building time of fasting from fear was enough time for me to practice. What do I do when I feel that fear? What do I do when I want to say no, but I'm not sure what to do? Nope, I'm fasting from fear. I'm just going to say no. And I'm going to trust I'll have the skills and it's going to be okay.
We could apply that to what we're doing this month. We could fast from being out of alignment.
That would be a very good practice for everybody.
Because we all know what it feels like to be out of alignment. We notice and we listen and then we do it anyway. We could bring that fasting from being out of alignment into our practice this month.
How about we do that for the rest of the month?
Okay. I'm in.
I'm in too. I think having set times, like from here till the end of the month, that's helpful because then in your mind, well, it's not forever. If I want to be afraid or I want to be out of alignment, I can go back to that in 2 weeks. What I find is whenever I do this, enough times pass and I say, I can do this. This wasn't as hard or scary as I thought, or I know the tools that I can go to and utilize when the out of alignment self pops up. I know what to do, but we have to give ourselves that opportunity. And I think it's like jumping in the deep end. Maybe if you're just learning how to swim, don't do this. But if you're a morning intentions intender, you've been around long enough to know you have the tools, you have the skill set. So let's just jump right on in. Let's do it. I think we all can.
I think we can too.
So how about that is our intention for today and this weekend?
I will fast from being out of alignment with what I hear and notice going on inside.
I will fast from being out of alignment with what I hear and notice inside. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our day is better because you are part of our day. See you Monday.
See you then.
I'm wanting something more, and I'm ready to begin. A life of happiness awaits me. It starts today when